Hello, this is Nurse Shelley with the Freitas School District. I wanted to take a moment to demonstrate the use of an epinephrine autoinjector, also called the EpiPen, which is what we have at our schools. And then Neffy, which is another form of the same medication. This is also epinephrine that's given intranasally. So if you have determined a student has been exposed to an allergen or they're having an anaphylactic reaction based on the symptoms we've gone through earlier in this training, it's time to give them the epinephrine. After today, you'll be trained and ready to give it. So for the EpiPen, it's going to come in a case. So you'll actually remove it from the case. Of course, this one says trainer. The one you're using will actually have a needle. The needle is on the orange end. A lot of times we'll say blue to the sky, orange to the thigh. And it's also important to remember when you're holding this to grip this way, not with your thumb up on it, just in case you were on the wrong end. You don't want to inject your thumb, which has happened to people before, not in our district, but I've heard of that happening before. So we always advise just holding it this way. So again, the blue to the sky, you're actually going to remove the blue. And so now it's ready and engaged to go. And you're going to put it into the thigh. And these needles can go, through jeans or whatever material someone is wearing. And you're going for like the upper kind of outer part of the thigh. And so you'll swing, push, hold for 3. Sometimes I advise doing a count of 10 if you're going to be counting fast if you're nervous, but 1, 2, 3, remove. As you can see, this protective cover will then cover the needle, remove, set it aside. You're going to rub that area for 10 seconds, and then you will note the time that you actually gave that, because you could potentially be giving a second dose. But set it aside, note the time you gave it, and that can go with EMS when they arrive to help the student. So the other option that we talked about is the nasal spray, Neffy. If you've ever been trained on Narcan that we have in our schools, similar concept. It is important there is just 1 dose in here, so you don't want to accidentally push the plunger. You don't want to do a test and be like, hey, does this really have medicine? Because it just has the 1 dose. So you'll actually just do 1 nostril. So you'll insert it and push the plunger, and that's it. They don't have to sniff in or anything like that. That will actually just give the medication. Again, set it aside. Note the time that you gave it. For both forms, whether it be injection or intranasal, you will potentially be doing a second dose. Either one of your school nurses or EMS, if you're on the phone with EMS, may advise it. If in 5 to 15 minutes they're either getting worse or not improving, a lot of times a second dose is needed. And then you will always be calling 911 if you have given any form of epinephrine to student, staff, anyone in the building. We do want them to be assessed by EMS, and sometimes that allergic reaction can go on a lot longer than the coverage that the epinephrine we gave is going to give to that person. So they need to be under continuous medical monitoring. Thank you so much.